guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host Bastion. This is Nintendo News. Let's get to that news. First of all, Legendary Pictures is the name of a studio that makes movies, and they just picked up the rights to Pokemon. They're making a Detective Pikachu movie right now, or at least they're in the pre-production stages of it, so that's kind of exciting. Hopefully, though, they make actual Pokemon movies, not just Detective Pikachu movies. A study just came out recently that said that people who play a lot of Mario Kart actually are better real-life drivers than those who don't. I guess you get a lot of driving practice playing Mario Kart. Maybe I should play more Mario Kart. Our next story is about somebody who designed and printed a Pokemon Go iPhone case using a 3D printer, and the way it's designed is it covers up part of the screen because if you're like me, you have horrendous times trying to not throw a curved Pokeball. I sure would get a lot of points if I was aiming correctly, but oftentimes I think I'm just swiping straight up and then it goes off to the side. This thing creates like a little boundary so that you're forced to go in a straight line, which is perfect. That would be perfect for me. And, you know, stuff like that. Plus, it looks pretty cool. Of course, you have to use a 3D printer. Now, most people don't have a 3D printer in their household. I happen to have one in my household. It belongs to a friend of mine, but it takes an eternity to print out the smallest things, let alone a whole iPhone case. So I don't think I'm going to ask him to print me out one of those, but we'll see. I'll keep it posted. And our next story is about a game that you may or may not have heard of called BS: The Legend of Zelda. No, BS does not stand for bull crap. It stands for, well, I forget what it stands for, but it's about a specific system that only came out in Japan. In case you don't know what BS Legend of Zelda is, there was a console released in Japan that would connect to the internet, and this was way before internet connectivity in games was a thing. And what it would do is it would download parts of a game to you each week. So in this instance, they did a 16-bit remake of Legend of Zelda, but changed all of the dungeons, changed a lot of the item locations, changed the overworld to a degree, changed the main character. It's not even Link, it's you transported into the game. And they would only release certain parts of it each week, and even those parts, everything was timed with live voice acting. So, not recorded voice acting, they actually had somebody, as you're playing the game, because everybody's playing at the same time, it starts at the same time for everybody. As you're playing the game, the old man will say, "Oh, now you have to go to this place, here's your clue for that," and things like that. So, of course it was all in Japanese, and nobody really recorded much of that live voice acting. So while it's true that some people have been able to hack the old Japanese game as saved on old satellite view systems, all of that voice acting is gone. But people were able to find transcripts of it, and so there is a version of the game where you can actually like read it as text like in a normal Zelda game. But finally, somebody has taken it upon themselves to recreate all of that voice acting, and that's a really cool idea. However, I do wish that, it sounds like they just used their friends who are probably not voice actors, professional or amateur. There are a couple of voices where it's just like, one of the voices is awesome. I forget which part it is, but it's like, that sounds great. But one of the voices is like, I think it's the guy who voices the old man. It's like, couldn't you have found somebody who was either an old man to do it or could do an old man voice, like a Gandalf-y voice or something? Because this isn't cutting it. But in any case, it's kind of a cool idea. I only heard those voices in the trailer, by the way, because when I tried to apply the patch and do it, yes, this involves emulation, guys, there was no audio whatsoever. So I don't know if I did it wrong or whatever. I've done patches to ROMs before, so I don't know. Anyways, maybe you'll have better luck and you can report back to me if the voice acting gets any better throughout it, but it was fun while I could play it. Anyways, if you want to read more about that and find out how to get that patch and everything, there's a link down there for you. That is it for this episode of Nintendo News. See you guys in a couple days for more news. Bye, guys.